I'm gonna make this short and sweet, right? This is my message to OG Kunta because I see now that my trolling has paid off. The gentleman knows who I am. So I'm gonna start off first and foremost by saying to OG Kunta, respect to you as a man, homie. I definitely respect you as a man. Um, you definitely the fucking Fort Worth turtle. I'll never take that back. But I definitely respect you as a man. And I want to let you know publicly that I think you're a lot more intellectual than a lot of people lead on to believe that you are, right? With that being said, in this little spat that you have going on with my relative Gumby, I'm going to tell you what the problem is, right? The problem ain't GC and the problem ain't CG. The problem, Kunta, with you and Gumby is that y'all both generals in your own respected places and minds. You both are passionate about what you represent. And both you niggas is too stubborn to just really allow each other's voice to be heard wholeheartedly. And this is just my opinion. Now, I reached out to Bob. I'll be trolling the Bob report, telling him, like, man, you need to let me and Kunta have a one on one. But fuck all that, right? Because I'm not waiting on Bob to set me down in front of Kunta, and I hope that it still happens. I hope it does happen. But until then, these are my words for Kunta and for Gumby. Both of y'all are passionate about what y'all believe in, and I respect that shit, right? Both of y'all love being from Hoover, love representing Hoover, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, Gumby, he reps Hoover one way because where he comes from, his upbringing, so forth and so on. And the same can be said about Kunta, right? But y'all know how it be like when your mama tell you something you really don't want to hear it, but if another person tell you, it's a little more receptive. You know, you're a little more receptive to it, right? So I'm gonna try to be that person to make everything a little more clear, right? The Hoovers, the Hoovers in California bang a certain type of way. At a certain year and time, all the Hoover Crip sets except for the five deuce they dropped not necessarily they're cripping, but they dropped the title of Crip in the name, right? I appreciate it. And um that's just what it is. They criminals. They bang criminal. When I went to TDC, when I went to TDC, I used to see a lot of gentlemen, banging Hoover. I'm like, damn, Texas really is Hoover land. You know what I'm saying? So I used to see him with the HCG, and I'm like, what's that? You know what I mean? Like in California, they bang it like this. So what I'm gonna say is this, right? I think it was a miscommunication somewhere. So a few things, what's happening. A few things that I want to make clear that are is proven, scientifically proven. So this is not me making it up, right? OG Percy and a plethora of other gentlemen from Fort Worth, and shout out to Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to all my Damus and Stop Six, and shout out to all the Hoovers out there, right? They got their knowledge from a child, all right? Little Rank was a child who brought them misinformed information, okay? Only thing I'm saying, and the only reason I'm saying misinformed is because of the way we do it in California, the way my family members from Hoover do it in California, right? There is a strong possibility that the young child, Little Rank, God bless his soul, HIP, um, could have been misinformed by somebody, right? And whatever information he did obtain, he took it to Fort Worth and it blossomed to whatever it is today. And that's totally respected and respectable, right? But in a franchise, when you have a franchise, and Hoover is a franchise under the Crip umbrella, right? All these different neighborhoods, 60 Crip, that's a franchise. Crenshaw Mafia Bloods, that's a franchise under the Blood umbrella, right? So when you have a franchise, right, and we're gonna use Taco Bell. If Taco Bell say the bean and cheese burrito come with either red sauce or green sauce, and you're not incorporated with that franchise, and you say, well, the bean and cheese burrito over here at my Taco Bell got orange sauce. That goes against the rules because Taco Bell has laid down the format. Taco Bell has given a foundation for all independent owners to follow, right? So it's in my opinion, and I say this with the utmost respect because I want to say this one more time. I highly respect OG Kunta. I highly respect. I got Texas tattooed on the back of my arm. I went to prison in Texas. I have a lot of family in Texas. I love Texas, so this ain't that, right? And I'm not putting myself in my cousin Gumby's battles. He could handle his own candle. He's not a buster. He can handle his own candle, right? But what I am saying is there's been some miscommunication and some misinformation along the way, along the creative path of building a Hoover brand in Texas. Now, in the state of Texas, and I've seen it with my own eyes, I've seen it in the comments, watching Real Tune, shout out to Tune, watching the Bob report, shout out to my guy Bob with his funny talking ass. I've I've see people in the comments now that the people in the comments are fighting. You got the Houston Hoover saying, "Oh, they not welcome here," and this and that, yada yada. It shouldn't even been all that, right? Because that makes the whole franchise look bad. That everybody can't come on one accord and pull it together, right? Being that I'm from California, but I went to prison in Texas. I actually lived, have footprints in Texas. I'd be an equal median to explain this to both gentlemen. I seen how the prison system works. I see how they work in the streets. You get what I'm saying? They need to put all that bullshit to the rest. The California Hoovers need to accept wholeheartedly all the Texas Hoovers, the New York Hoovers, the all of them, right? That's my opinion. But me being, I'm not from Hoover. I'm from Paru, so I can't make that call. But again, this is my opinion. I have a lot of family from Hoover. Shout out to the Babies from 7-4. Shout out to my big bro Tan Rag from 11 Deuce. Shout out to my big bro Tootie from 11 Deuce. Free my big brother, my little brothers, I'm sorry, Dirt Nap from 9 Deuce. Shout out to Uncle John from 9 Deuce. Shout out to BD and Lil BD from 7-4. Rest in peace to my cousin Mouse from 5 Deuce. Like, I have a lot of family. Rest in peace to my Uncle C Dog from 5 Deuce. So I have a lot of family and a lot of deep roots in with the Hoovers. And that's why I felt I could just at least express this, right? OG Kunta, I could tell is a warrior. I could tell he's a warrior. I could tell that brother's passionate. I could tell he speaks with passion and a higher level of intellect than a lot of people give him credit for. Gumby is a warrior. Gumby is passionate. Gumby is on a higher level of intellect than people give him credit for. Most of their problems derive from the internet. If they could just find a good common ground to meet on and to really converse and hear each other out with no cameras, with no Hollywood approach, no camera character, because everybody got a different character. When the camera cut on, I don't give a fuck who you are. Everybody has a different character they cut on when they get on the camera, period. I do. Every I'm who I am off the camera. And when I get on the camera, oh, yo, what's up, y'all? This is Bompton Jack Slimgang TV or on Instagram, which y'all can follow me. I'm official Bompton Jack Dripper on Instagram, or I'm the biggest slim on TikTok. Like, that's my camera personality. I'm not walking around my house doing that shit to my children and to my woman and shit like that. Like, no, that's my camera personality. That's my camera persona, right? I really hope that my relative and Kunta and all them dudes work this shit out. Uh, I hope that they have understanding with one another. You get what I'm saying? I hope they get some real understanding with one another and that they could move forward and progress because together we strong as a motherfucker. And then divided, well, you know, we just have that syndrome. They call it the crabs in the bucket. Somebody trying to get to the top and somebody there to pull them down. Why can't we do a ladder? How come you can't stand there and I stand on your shoulders and then you stand on my shoulders and pull yourself out the bucket and then turn around and drop your hand down to pull me up while I got my hand down pulling him up? How come we can't pull each other up? The tearing down, the bashing, that's the easy part. That's the fucking easy part. But bringing peace, understanding, unity, y'all know how it is in prison. Too black, too strong. Too fucking black, too fucking strong. Don't forget that. So I just felt the need to jump on here and talk directly to OG Kunta. If anybody see this that know OG Kunta, you know, I really appreciate if you pass this to him because I troll him a lot. OG Kunta, you definitely the fucking Fort Worth turtle. That's never gonna change. I wouldn't give a fuck if you and Gumby become best friends today. I'm still gonna call you the Fort Worth Turtle, and I respect it. As you study me, Kunta, you might come up with number. Look at Cuz out there, oh California West Coast nigga. I'm gonna call Cuz Scribbles. He got all them goddamn tattoos on his face. What's wrong with Cuz? Couldn't find no paper to write on. He had to write on his face. Whatever you come up with, I'll be accepted to it because I understand how it is out here on the social media and these YouTube streets, right? I just want to clarify. I have no malice. I have no beef. I had nothing but respect for OG Kunta, but I'm definitely gonna ride with family, family over everything. And you know, that's just pretty much what I gotta say. I want to shout out my boy Bob Report, who has a great platform that he's building, getting lots of views, and shout out to my cousin Gumby and to Kunta for making that happen. They say controversy sells. Well, these two old ignorant niggas are the most controversial on the internet besides Spider Loke and Young Aunt Hefe, who don't give a motherfuck about nothing but what the checks say. You dig what I'm saying? So just praying that my people get it together, man. Um, my apologies, y'all. I'm driving, but I just hope that my people can get it together. You know what I'm saying? They can bring California and Texas together because California and Texas ain't never had no problems. Our cultures have never clashed because they have their own culture. Texas has its own culture. California has its own culture. So there's no reason to clash. We have our own different cultures. And then we bring them and present them to one another. And both coasts, as they call Texas the third coast, right? The West Coast and the third coast has always been receptive to one another. The proof is in the pudding. Look how many people y'all know from Houston that grew up with y'all that are claiming California gangs. That's Texas being receptive to California. It ain't no copycat shit. It ain't no following the leader because Texas has its own base neighborhoods. If I'm not mistaken, like Gulf City or Gulf Coast Gangster Crib. We got the 5'9" Ruse, the 102 Ruse. They have their own things out there, right? So they could have been their own gangs. So Texas is definitely not following nobody. They're definitely not being copycats. They're definitely not doing none of that. Like I say, the West Coast and the Third Coast have always been receptive. When the down south came out with music and everybody, you know, and they still do it in Texas, walk around with the big Texas belt buckles, the whole West Coast was receptive to that. And you had all these niggas in Compton, Long Beach, Inglewood, Riverside, Moreno Valley, walking around with big ass Texas belt buckles. This Ruin, this neighborhood, under the Paru umbrella, and even the Sereno umbrella. That shit hit Texas, and Texas was just receptive to it. That's it, and that's all. OG Kunta, Bob, y'all need to get at me, man. Let's have a sit down. Let's have a sit down. Just OG Kunta. Just the Bumpton Jack Dripper and just the Bob Report. We don't need Cousin Lick. We don't need Gumby. We don't need Purse Cuz. We don't need Trigger Bird. Just me and you and Bob. Having an adult, grown man conversation. Because I feel like I'm half Texas, I'm half Cali. I'm born in Inglewood, California, raised in Compton. But I can honestly say Texas made a man of me. Texas made me a man. Going to prison in Texas made a man of me. So I understand both sides, and I think I'll be an equal median. Salute to my big cousin Gumby. Salute to OG Kunta, the Fort Worth Turtle. Salute to the Real Bob Report. Salute to Real Tune. And now this is my message though for Real Tune and Bob. Y'all stop promoting the bullshit. Stop interviewing these old niggas. And stop keeping that shit. Stop throwing fuel on the fire, my niggas. Because every time one person says something, then the next channel want to interview the op, as they call it, and put up more. And that's just keeping this shit going now. If y'all niggas is running WWF behind the scenes, and this is all a play, then do what you got to do. Get your coins, as Crip Mac would say, your increments. Get them by all means necessary, right? But if this ain't a play, then Bob, Tune, y'all need to cut the shit, bro. All right? So as they say in Texas, I'm finna fire up my suite, which is really a backwood. I just did some Christmas shopping. I'm about to go grab some Chinese food, and I'm gonna take my bitch ass home. Salute to California. Salute to all the Parus, Bloods, Keyways, Hoovers, gangsters, and neighborhoods out there. Salute to the whole state of Texas. Salute to all the Hoovers, the gangsters, the neighborhoods, the Damus, the Parus, the Bloods, the Brims in Texas. Shout out to all the real ones across the world, man. Because as long as we keep indulging and engaging in negativity and battle with one another, we ain't gonna never be shit. I mean, follow the drip. This way, not that way, motherfuckers.